All right, guys, there will not be any music. We're going to keep this up. We're going to keep this up. No music today. Make sure that that joint is hitting. And we are going to chop it up and we're going to talk on it. Give me a second here. Okay. So, if you guys have a question, go ahead and put a Q. We'll keep this live up for everybody while I'm driving so I can spit this ism off the top of my cake ass dome, and we're gonna get it. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna chop it up and we're gonna break it down. So I am driving, so if y'all got a question, go ahead and cap your question. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? But let's talk about this. So there's a scenario playing in your head right now, okay, gentlemen? And most of you guys out here really can't see the scenario that's playing in your head, because the problem is that you're actually playing inside of the scenario. And it is an image. I want to kind of give you a weird analogy. Okay, most of you guys are trying to pull. Okay, I know a lot of you guys got that iPhone. Okay, I'm not going to rag on you iPhone people today. A lot of you guys have an iPhone, but in this analogy, when I'm saying that you're trying to force the phone to give you apps. Now, y'all should understand what I'm talking about as far as apps on your phone, okay? And this is why this is going to be the beginning of understanding not only a woman's obsession, but understanding open loops and closed loops, guys, okay? Because a lot of young men are not have an understanding when it comes to the game. So I want to make sure that I'm able to talk to you like that, okay? Because most of you guys understand your mind is racing right now. Your mind is going a million places at one time, okay? And you're trying to understand yourself when it comes to women. Who am I when it comes to women? And why is it I'm always struggling with women? Why am I struggling with fear? Why am I struggling with anxiety? Why am I struggling to speak to women, talk to women, and get my point across from women? And that's what we're going to talk about and discuss today. If you have a question and I'm going too fast, please capitalize that, okay? But I want you to understand, for many of you guys out here, the problem is you're trying to access a modern world standing in an outdated reality. Now listen to what I'm saying. You have technology in your hand, but yet you will go into a phone booth and try to pull up an app in the phone booth. And why am I saying that? Because the problem for many of you guys is that your phone is not the issue. The woman is not the issue, okay? The issue is the reality in which you are operating yourself on is the problem. And what I mean by realities, I need y'all to understand the reality that you're in versus the one I'm in. Two totally different things. Right now, as I've always told you, if you look at realities, your thinking is a reality. What you're doing while you're thinking is a reality. Knowing that we're on a rock that's rotating in its own reality, that is rotating around a fireball reality that's floating aimlessly in space reality, if that makes sense. So most of you guys think that your dating is the problem. And a lot of y'all guys just don't know what to say to women. You think the problem is that you need a better picture or a better line or something better to make that woman feel like she wants to talk to you or being interested in you, okay? But that is the first trap, okay? That is already the phone booth. Think about what I'm saying, because when a man thinks the answer is in another piece of instruction, gentlemen, then it's either another instruction, another script. Think about this. I want y'all to think about this. Think about the script of Metal, the script of going your own way, high value man, no fap, money, clothes, and status, looks maxing. You keep going into the same phone booth trying to pull out an app in something that cannot produce an app. But yet your mind thinks if you just go in that phone booth maybe once or twice, eventually you'll be able to grab an app out of the phone. And that's how your mind is thinking. And that, my friend, is what an open loop is. It is not looking at the patterns. Well, the loop is you have to look at the patterns and you got to look at the structure of the system. But that ties into the woman as well. But if you're not looking at the structure of the system itself, then you're going to struggle with women. And a lot of guys are going to struggle because they don't understand that the struggle is that you're operating on an outdated system. You'll never be able to pull an app out of a phone booth. But for some reason in your mind, you keep going in that phone booth trying to do that. And that is the open loop reality, okay? It's the reality where man still is unfinished inside of himself. And he keeps looking outside of himself for answers when all of his answers are internal. Now, if we look at, and guys, if you think about you looking outside of yourself, it has to be that way. Because all your life, you have been told everything from outside of yourself. You're told how to think outside of yourself, how to read, how to write, how to spell, how to do math, how to ride a bike, how to drive a car, how to do everything. Even your phone, you're taught how to do it from outside, right? But in your mind, when it comes to women and dating, a lot of you young men out there assume that the rules apply in dating that applies in the reality that you're in, and it doesn't apply or work that way. An open loop, gentleman, is a man that is not weak. You're not weak at all, okay? It's just that you want to learn. And guys, learning is not the problem. The problem is when learning becomes your identity is where the problem comes at. You are not the things that you learn. You learn things, but you are not those things. And as long as you operate under that construct of trying to be something that you're not going to win in this thing. You're never going to find the peace that you need as a person, because your identity is going to hold you down and hold you back. And that is the problem. You are not going to learn who you are from trying to write things in which you think you are. That's what we call, gentlemen, the open loop. And that's why many of you guys are having the dating issues that you're having because of that, okay? No, I don't go live on Instagram, but y'all got to cap your question. If you talk to me, capitalize your question. If you have a question, I got you. I'll continue. See, the thing is, for many of you guys out there, because of the open loop, and this is what YouTube does to you young men, it forces you to borrow your identity, your sexual identity, and your confidence from something outside of you, okay? And the problem is when you walk up and meet a woman for the first time, you're carrying information that doesn't belong to you. And that's why you feel like a fish out of water when you're trying to talk to a woman. When you see a woman, like I told you, if you're learning who you are from the comfort of your own home, you're going to fail, because the comfort itself is the trick. But the problem is what a lot of young men don't see in all of this is that you may say the right words, okay? And you might get her attention. You might get her to text. But the problem is that a woman texting from a closed loop is not carrying any sexual weight. There's no interest, and it's not a woman that wants to be with you. It's a woman that trusts that you're not going to do anything bad to her, But in order for you to get that woman to want to mess with you the right way, you must create the open loop inside of her by actually being a closed loop. But let me continue. This is why women can feel when a guy is playing around and performing. Jordan, you got to capitalize your question. That means yell at me, sir. Capitalize your question and I'll answer it, okay? I'm driving, so please cap that. See, most of you guys don't understand when it comes to the game and all this other stuff, that a lot of y'all guys a woman can feel when you're trying too hard. A woman can feel when you're trying to impress her. Because a woman has a closed loop, and this is what you have to understand, is that when I say a woman can feel what you're doing, is because she's already met a you before that has done the same exact things that you're trying to do now. Yes, to you, it seems like it's brand new. To you, it seems like it's something that is never heard before. But you don't understand, women have run into millions of guys doing the same thing. But when you learn the game, it's only one of us. You know, one thought, one mind, one way. He says, does being a closed loop mean I'm going to always be the result? Yeah, well, the thing is, no. Wait, okay, when you're a closed loop, you are the answer. What you want to make sure is that you want to be the answer to all the woman's issues and problems, but you want her to come to the realization that with you, I can be whatever. I can be so many things, right? With you. But without you, I feel like there's something missing in my life because most guys are looking at the surface. So when you're a closed loop, what happens is you're going to open her loop up because she's never met anybody that is so laid back in the cut, is saying, I don't need the sex from you. I don't need your body. I don't need anything on you. I'm just going to show you why you need me versus me trying to impress you. But when a woman is a closed loop, you reinforce the closed loop by telling her how beautiful she is and how sexy she is. And once a woman can feel that you are like everybody else, what happens is the emotional thing or a little excitement that she may have of you may go away. Okay, does that make sense? And thank you for the likes, gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna try to get all this in. Please understand, this is class in session, and we're gonna keep this up, okay? And if you have a quick question, go ahead and cap it. But as I was saying, for all you guys out here, what's very important is once a woman feels like she's not gonna move, you're not moving her, not in a sexual way, but she feels that you're not moving her in a masculine way, she's going to close herself off because the loop is already closed. And if you cannot open the loop to show her why you, then she's going to move away from you because she's saying, I've already done this. I've been there. We can only ride a ride so many times until we say, well, I've been there before. Guys, how many times have you went to the amusement park and you rode the ride? You know, the first few times is pretty cool, but after a while you're saying, yeah, well, I'll ride that ride later. I've already experienced that ride. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you want to have with a woman, gentlemen, okay? See, a closed man, when you have the game, you move differently because you become sex. Gentlemen, you're not looking for sex, you are sex. Your sexual amusement park, you embody. And you need to, what you want to do is you want to put yourself in a prime position to give a woman an awakening, not of a lie or manipulation. You want her to come to the realization that you are the answer. I've been looking for the answer all my life, but you have always been the answer. And I'm just starting to realize that. Let me get this question right here. recognizes that you're not looking for her validation, does that open her loop? No, because look at what you're doing. See, you're making it about the woman. I don't care what she's looking for. But one thing everything I'm teaching you has nothing to do with the woman, young man. And that's the problem that you're having, okay? I am not ever going to stand in a phone booth trying to grab phone apps. I'm not going to do that. But what I can do in the analogy is show the woman that there are a million apps that a woman can press on her phone, but there's one app on her phone that she doesn't have, and that's me. When you want to laugh, you press my app. When you want to smile, you press my app. When you want to feel sexy, you press my app. When you want to feel appreciated, you press my app. When you're feeling lonely, you press my app. When you want to smile, you press my app. So do you see what I'm saying right there? I'm saying that you give her an app on her phone of you. As I said before, I don't want you to go into the phone booth trying to pull out an app. What I want you to do is I want her to create an app called I Need to Talk to You. I need to discuss things with you. I need to share things with you, because you are the only person that I know that is not looking at me like a piece of meat. You're not judging me. You're not assuming. You're not expecting. You just are. And because you just are who you are, you're showing me that I can be more than who I am. That will open the loop right there. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Thank you, 30 likes. And what is going to open the loop? See, the thing is that I understand as a closed loop, guys, when it comes to dating, the real work is learning who you are when nobody else is around. But it's not learning who you are to present that to a woman. It's learning who you are to present that to your fears, your anxieties, and everything that's holding you back. As long as you can present that to the things that's holding you back, it's going to change your interpretation. See, it's nothing, again, I would keep telling you, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with women. What is wrong is the reality in which you're trying to date from. It's like going into it's like going to court, asking the lawyer to operate on you. You see what I'm saying? It's like going to a restaurant and asking a chef to do your taxes. You see what I'm saying? You're operating in the wrong reality. That's the problem, but you don't know that. That's why you're struggling. That's why you're frustrated, because the rules that you're playing by are not the rules. It's an outdated system, and the system itself is not going to help you, because the woman's system is the same way. Her system is locked as well, but her system can open up when you show her that she is more than the system itself. Remember, the system is built on subsystem parts. And if one subsystem part is broken, the system as a whole will not function, meaning that the woman is not going to function because her subsystem part is more of insecurity. She's looking to find security in a man. But let me get this question right here. This person said, you're doing is being, hold on, let me turn. You're saying you're doing is being rare. No. No, let me take this out. I think this thing is blurring me out. Okay. You say you're doing is being rare, and she's going to recognize. She can't recognize what she doesn't know. Rare is something she can't recognize. She can't recognize rare. I'm not trying to be rare. I'm just me. I know how to fuck. I know how to turn her on. I know how to make her wet. I know how to get her with my words. I know how to intrigue her. I know how to seduce her. I know how to do all that. So I don't need to do anything. I am rare. I don't need to force her to fuck with me. What makes it great, you have to allow her the open loop and the space to realize that I need him in my life more than I actually think. And that's how it works, gentlemen. What I'm saying to you guys out here, the closed loop person is always going to keep outsourcing his identity to the woman because you're trying to fit what you think she needs in a person. But here's the beautiful thing. She doesn't know what she needs because she's never met you before. Brandon says she can open her loop and then she can see security that she lacks. Well, okay, Brandon, remember though, women are secure when it comes to the average person. It's just when they get around a real man, they become insecure because they're saying, why isn't my body moving him like everybody else? Why isn't my sexuality making him melt like butter? I can't move him. I can't move him with my body. I can't move him with my thoughts, but I'm being moved by the fact I'm not moving him, Brandon. Let's see, Juliana says, being what she doesn't recognize will draw you into her. Absolutely. Okay. You got it, gentlemen. When I'm talking about loops, you've got to stop asking women and you've got to stop asking the world to tell you what you need to be for somebody. You don't need to be anything except the person that knows when it's time, I'm already ready. I know how to make her feel like the only woman in the world. I know how to turn her on. I know how to make her miss me. I know how to make her think about me. But here's the cold thing about it. Even though you know how to do those things, what is even more dangerous is that you don't utilize anything, because it carries more weight when she can feel that when I'm with him, that I can share my mind, my body, and my thoughts with this person to a point where she's going to recognize that you're that guy, okay? And gentlemen, that is why a closed loop matters, because the relationship your relationship should not be built from an open loop reality. If you guys out here are still trying to figure out what a woman is, then you're actually lost, because you're trying to please somebody instead of learning what you are to yourself, if that makes any sense. And what I'm saying to you guys out here is that I want a woman to miss me because she misses the connection that her and I share that she cannot share with anybody else. I don't want her to feel like I need her in my life, because if you show a woman you need her, she's not going to care about you. Think about all the women that guys are running, but think about all the women right now that guys are actually running after right now. They're going to these women, confessing their love, confessing their heart, confessing their feelings, and because she's a closed loop, it's not penetrating. You're not penetrating anything because she's heard it before. And these women have admirers, guys. I'm sorry. All these women have fan clubs, okay? Every woman has a fan club of guys that worship everything that woman is doing. And they would do anything for that woman. All she has to do is ask. So when that woman is on her high goddamn horse, what happens when she meets somebody that says, I'm not impressed by you? It's not being mean. It's that you're not impressing me. Okay, yes, you're sexy. Yes, you have a body. And yes, you're a woman, but so what? And you see that? That's what changes up the game right there, gentlemen. See, the thing is, if I need a woman's reaction to tell me my value and to tell me my identity, then how am I going to turn her on? How am I going to get her to think dirty thoughts when she shouldn't think dirty things? How am I going to get her to say, you know what, I love you, I miss you, I care about you, I think about you? She's not going to do that because she knows the person that she has, her fan club, they're telling her that every day. I miss you, I think about you, I care about you, give me a chance, go on a date with me, will you say something to me? Women are used to that, gentlemen. I want y'all to think about that. You see, what y'all guys don't understand is that this all ties into your identity, not just sex. The obsession has to come from her femininity and her emotions. That's where the connection is going to be at right there, gentlemen, if you think about everything on the grand scheme of things, okay? And guys, if you got a question, please cap it, and I will definitely answer your question. I'm just trying to teach y'all class and session today. See, when you can't listen, the open loop reality will always harm a man in relationships because it makes you chase what you think is competition. Women have other men, but I will never see another man as my competition because another man can't make a woman feel the things I can make her feel. Because I'm not trying to make her feel anything from the surface. I'm trying to tap into the unrecognizable version of herself. I keep telling you, I want to be the journal. I want to be the diary. I don't want to be the emotion. I'm going to create the emotion, but I don't want to be the emotion, gentlemen. And what I'm saying to you guys out here, most of you guys are competing against other men because your reality is more competition based in your reality, meaning that when you're in school, aren't you, let me make sure I get over the accent, aren't you competing against other children for the best grade? Aren't you competing to get on the basketball team, the football team, or the soccer team? So all your life, all you're doing is you're spending your life competing all the time, which makes you think that if I meet a woman, that I've got to compete with other men. There is no competition. Let me get this question right here. When we get on the program, do you accept, well, we've got to, listen, sir, get your pathway, get your coaching, and we will talk, sir. I have to assess you. Yes, that's the first thing I do every time, sir. I just don't give you something. I've got to sit down and learn who I'm talking to so I can make sure the program is right for you. We just don't let anybody in just because he wants to be a part of this, okay? So I'll continue. Good question. Okay, what I'm saying is, gentlemen, for many of you guys, because you guys don't understand the game and being a closed loop, I don't need a woman to complete who I am as a man, okay? That's why I become more magnetic. It's not my height, because I'm short. It's not my age, because I'm old. It's not my body, because I have a dad body. It's none of those things. But in your reality, you think it's those things. Her emotions don't care how old I am. Her emotions don't care how tall I am. Her emotions don't care if I have a dad body or a chiseled body. Her emotions don't care. Her emotions just wants to hear me, see me, or do something to trigger something to make her feel good, if that makes any sense, okay? And what I'm saying is that because your reality of a closed loop is going to be closed, gentlemen, that means that you're something that women are not used to. You are a grounded, self-contained person that is not trying to perform for a woman. When I tell you I don't care what she thinks, I know in your reality that means that you're mean and you're cold-hearted and that's cruel. No, I don't care because she's not giving me a reason to care because she hasn't shown me a reason. Why should she even come inside my doors? So she can say anything she wants or do anything she wants, but she's not anything to me until she proves that she is something worthy of what I can give her. There's guys, yes, I can give her an orgasm, guys. And yes, I can give her a crygasm. And yes, I can give her a seduction-gasm and a sensual-gasm, a romantic-gasm. Guys, I got a million of these things locked in. I told you the new thing I have is when I release the choose your story orgasm, it's a whole new ball game right there. So gentlemen, if I have all that locked in, do you actually think that I care what a woman thinks about from the outside? She's got to earn this. You're not going to get those orgasms from me. I'm not just going to waste my time talking to somebody just for the mere sake of talking. No, I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying to you guys out here, when you are a closed loop, a woman is going to feel a certain side of you, a part of you. It's really amazing if you think about it, gentlemen, because women are not used to a person who is clear and concise on himself. I understand that you're on edge. I understand you don't trust. I understand you want somebody to see you for what you want to be seen as. And you watch this, guys, I'm gonna shock you. Most women think that, okay, what about my personality? You see what I'm saying? Why doesn't he want to get to know my personality? Why doesn't he want to get to know my character? Why doesn't he want to get to know that? Guys, let me show you why we don't want to get to know that shit. Her character, her personality, and everything that she is. Gentlemen, think for a second. If you're in a reality of being indoctrinated by the subtotal of your parents, pastors, and teachers, what do you think her personality is? What do you think her character is? Her character is all those other suckers. She doesn't know who she is. That's the beauty of all this. Okay, she knows who she is, but she doesn't share that part of herself. That layer is what we call the unrecognizable. When a woman goes into her diary, that's who she is. What she presents herself as, that's not her. That's not her personality. That's not her character. That's the subtotal of every guy, every heartbreak, every guy that she has liked, every guy that broke her heart, every guy that used her, lied to her, whatever, has summed up that total. Hold on, let me get this question here. Guys, cap your question, I got you. This is where most men misunderstand obsession. Because they think in their heads, gentlemen, a woman becomes emotionally caught up in a man because he gives her everything. You're not supposed to give her dinners and drinks and flowers and trinkets. You should be the drink. She should sip your words. You should be the rose petals and the flowers, meaning that she should smell your cologne. You shouldn't have to buy her things to keep her around. She should want to be around because she knows when I'm with you, I can do just about anything. And the one thing you're going to do is give me pushback. You're going to give me correction. It might sound mean, it might sound different, it might sound difficult, but it's totally different, gentlemen. It's different, gentlemen. And see, when a woman can't be deeply pulled into something that goes beyond what she knows, she's going to get tired of it. Yes, man, she's going to look at you and she's going to be interested. It's going to be those old high school feelings. I meet somebody, he's new. Is this the guy? Damn it, he's just like everybody else. He's a one-trick pony that just tells me one thing, but okay, he's intellectual, all right? But when I need someone to make me feel sexy, where is he at? When I'm looking for someone to make me feel seen, where is he at? When I want to be heard, when I want to be understood, when I'm having a bad day and I need someone to yank my chain and put me in my place because I'm being disrespectful, where is he at? You see what I'm saying? And because most of y'all guys don't understand the game the way that you need to understand it, this is why a lot of y'all guys are always going to lose in the game, because it's not for you guys. If everything out here that you guys think is going to help you by sitting around and trying to find a cheat code to a woman, you're not going to find that cheat code at all, guys. All right? I don't want you to play games, okay? I don't want you to lie. I don't want you to hide who you are. If you want to have sex, you should be able to tell her that. You're not going to get it, but at least you're being honest about it. You should not manipulate her. You shouldn't try to be smooth or cool or mysterious and all that other stuff. That's a person that is an open loop. You're saying that when I see the woman, I got to try to be this thing because I want her to see me, right? but who is me? Think about what I'm saying, guys. Think about what I'm saying. I want her to see me, but who is the me that you want her to see? How can she see you when you don't even know that you are not the you that you should be? Let me slow that down. I'm not trying to get deep. Think about what I'm saying, okay? You're looking to discover things on the internet. A man that has game is going to be discovered. Y'all see the difference? I hope y'all see the difference. I need y'all to listen to me. In your reality, you're trying to discover things. When you have the game and you're a closed loop, you are going to be discovered by the woman because you know there's more to you than her first, second, and even third impression. Even because her first, second, and third impression are based off of the reality of what you don't understand. Okay, remember, she's taking in information based off of the average guy before you. So whatever impression she has of you is not the impression of who you are until she discovers you're not what she thinks you are. This guy says, what do you mean when you say creating a closed loop in oneself? What I mean is, all right, a prime example of a closed loop is if I asked you, how do you make cereal or how you brush your teeth? You'll be able to answer that question with your eyes closed. You can walk into your kitchen right now, at the edge of your kitchen, close your eyes and fix yourself a bowl of cereal because you've been doing it so many times, you can see it without seeing it. That's a closed loop. But when you get around a woman, it's like trying to fix yourself some cereal, but you get to the kitchen and then all of a sudden you're worried about if the spoon is dating the fork. Does the bowl like the milk? Does the milk like the orange juice? Is the orange juice wanting to date the box of cereal? What if the box of cereal doesn't like me? What if the box of cereal is hypergamous? See that box of cereal? She's modern. The box of cereal is dating, and so the box of cereal has so many spoons inside of her, she just has a high spoon count. You see what I'm saying? That's an open loop. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, if that makes any sense. And that's the difference, guys, when I talk about discovering. That's the difference between being taught, discovering, and being real, being discovered. Excuse me. Jillian says, I feel like Lucky Charms right now. Anyway, smart ass. What I'm saying to you guys out here is that most of you guys are taught the wrong way for the wrong thing. You are taught to read, write, and spell, which creates a closed loop in the reality that you're in. You know numbers, you know words, you know how to pay your bills, you know how to pay your taxes, you know how to pay your car insurance. That's a closed loop. But when it comes to dating, you can't bring that over to a woman because that's you're moving off of an outdated system of your parents and your ancestors. See, when a woman gets around you, gentlemen, okay? When a woman gets around you, okay, she needs to see a man that is not standing still. I'm so many doors, behind doors, behind doors. And the only way she is going to learn what I am is to be lucky enough to be allowed to come inside. She's got to be invited in. She can't just come in because she looks good, okay? Most of you guys are too busy trying to understand the woman, but you're not taking the time to understand yourself. A real man in the game, when he is a closed loop, is always creating different realities that you can bring a woman into. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. uh, like I told you, it's music. When a woman wants to sing and dance, what reality do you think she goes? Excuse me. What reality do you think she goes into? When a woman wants to cry and she feels miserable and she wants to cry, what reality do you think she goes into? All realities are not created equally. But women don't understand that when she gets with a man that can fulfill every reality that she doesn't know about, it kind of messes her up, gentlemen. There is going to be an obsession, but that obsession can also scare her as well, okay? All right? And as I say, for all you young men out here, the thought that I want you guys to think about in this is that I don't want you to do things for women. I want you to do everything for yourself. And when I talk about open loops and I talk about closed loops, I'm not talking about some cute dating phrase that you say to a woman, gentlemen. I'm not saying that. When you guys lock into this open loop, it's the man that I'm still growing. I'm still learning who I am. I'm old, but I'm still learning me. I cannot stop learning me. But as I learn me, I can share me with her, but I need her. She's got to recognize it. Gentlemen, if you force a woman to recognize you, then you're forcing her to see something she already sees. I don't want her to recognize me. I want her to feel me, to realize that I'm not like everybody else. Does that make any sense? Shout out to everybody in the room. Let's get it. But what I'm saying to you, all you guys out here, the open loop guy is always trying to be chosen. I don't want a woman to choose me. I want a woman to think about me, not choose me, because she can think about me and not choose me. She can miss me and not choose me. She can care about me and not choose me, but that's what you want. You don't want to force her into the water. You want to let her know there's a lake right there that you can go into, or there's that app. Remember, I go back to the phone booth because that's the easiest thing. If you can be the app that she could press, and gentlemen, believe me, I got something for you when the school opens. If you think that orgasm app thing is fake, wait till you see what I got that I'm going to give you to a woman. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I continue. See, when you are locked in one thought, one mind, one way, okay, you're already authentic, you're already real, and you're not trying to be something that you're not. And this is why most guys win with women, because you're going to get on her nerves, and that's a beautiful thing. Wait, let me see if there's any questions. Hold on. Let me see here. I just want to make sure we're good on questions. Guys, got a question, go ahead and ask. But what I'm saying for all you young men out here, please listen to me, because we're going to keep this up. This is the reality most guys do not confront when it comes to women. Guys, if you have a question, capitalize it, okay? You cannot create sexual obsession from a broken reality, gentlemen. You can't. She can't be. You're going to become obsessed. It works both ways, gentlemen. A lot of you want a woman to be obsessed with you, but you get caught up in her body and her pussy. Yes, women are sexy, guys. I'll never tell you that. Just like you, I love lips and hips and certain things on a woman. I've got my thing, you've got yours. But regardless, is that those things are not going to actually define how I move as a man. And if you cannot make a woman feel like there's more to discover in you, gentlemen, then she's saying there's nothing grounded about you. She needs to feel, and she needs to know that I'm meeting you for the first time. And when she meets you for the first time, she's got to try to figure you out. Do you think women go and tap into her Dear Diary? Today is May, whatever the fuck it is, and I just met somebody. They don't do that. They just say, oh, I know he just wants to sleep with me. He doesn't, there's no depth and range. Please capitalize your thing, okay? Please capitalize. What I'm saying is a woman, okay? The woman herself is not obsessed with a man who explains himself the fastest. I can't explain me to her. But one thing I can do is show her that she can explain herself to herself with me. Not explaining to herself on, okay, gentlemen, let's look at this, all right? Think about a woman. So when a woman has a thought, her thought, okay, let's look at numbers and letters, because I don't want to get deep where y'all drown. Let me show you how cold this is. Ladies, cover your ears. You don't need to hear this information. Okay. If every woman runs into a letter all of her life, right? Tied into her fears, letters, insecurity, letters, low self-worth, letters, low self-esteem, letters, then her reality and everything that she's thinking will be in the terms of a letter. And watch how realities work. Even when a woman discovers herself, she's not discovering anything at all, because that's the trick that the mind is going to play on her. So she's not discovering anything. So when she's in the 5th grade or the 6th grade and she's writing in her diary, the thoughts that she's writing are just words on paper that don't have any weight because they're in letters, meaning that she's the subtotal of all those things: parents, teachers, boyfriends, outside, trauma, dating, everything that makes her think that I can discover who I am by what I've lived. And she's not discovering anything. Guys, I got your question, hold on. Hey guys, have you ever seen a TV show where you see the person in the TV screen walk to the left side of the screen and then come back to the other side on the right-hand side of the screen? You know those movies like that where they're trying to go somewhere. So you see them walk to the left side of the screen and disappear, and then they come back on the right side of the screen and they're in the same place. Well, that's the trick that the woman doesn't understand. She doesn't know what she doesn't know. Remember, there are things she knows, and then there are things she doesn't know. But what I'm talking about, the thing she doesn't know, that she doesn't know, and that is she needs a number to break the system of the letters. And the only way she's going to get a number is by being around a number. A number is going to show her that all this time, everything I'm thinking about and putting myself down, my value, my self-esteem, and all this other stuff, is that I'm going to continue to do it because there's no out. Because every time I have a thought, a letter, every time it's an answer, a letter, every time I'm figuring it out, it's always going to be a goddamn letter, guys. That's why you're going to be the obsession. Because you're not a letter, you're the number. And when a number meets a letter, the letter will start off with a letter dash number, and then it will become the number where you unlock things. But let me get this question right here. This guy says, my women went off trails earlier today. A text message, she said, I love you, and said, okay. Wait, I said okay, and she lost it. I told her I'd rather communicate in person. Oh, well, sir. Okay, sir. Listen. That woman doesn't love you, and she doesn't like you. You're not a man in her eyes. Look how dismissive you are. If somebody's sharing something to you and you're so dismissed, if a woman tells you I love you and you're like, okay, then she's not going to tell you shit anymore. Why should she talk to you? You're not that guy. She doesn't love you. She doesn't care about you. And the reason why she felt that way, because you're not man enough to know how to have a basic conversation with a woman, dude. Listen to what you're saying. What do you do now? It doesn't make any sense. Well, of course she's been silent. Okay. If a woman tells me she misses me, if a woman tells you, Steve, I miss you, I care about you, I think about you, you think I'm just going to say okay? Then she's not going to tell you shit ever again. You've got to learn how to make her feel seen, heard, and understood, so you can open her up to share, not that I love you from the goddamn hallmark surface. She should say more. I love you because you are the only man, fill in the blank. I miss you because when you're not around, fill in the blank. I don't blow your head up, but I need you because you're the only man, fill in the blank. That's what you want. But if you get a woman to tell you that and you're giving her a generic, basic ass answer, you've lost a woman because you don't have a game. And that's where you fail, man. This is the reality of most guys. You, like that young man, you have to confront that reality. You cannot create obsession, as I said, from a broken reality. You create an emotional pull, which you guys do, from what we call a borrowed identity. She doesn't love you because you don't know who you are, because you don't love yourself. So whoever she loves is a person that wore a mask, pretending to be something that he's not. That's why when they wake up from the dream that they have, that they realize, I don't love you. How many women have told you they loved you and left you? That's the reason. Let me get over, hold on, give me a second. You said, just said okay because she rather just, no. All right, let me slow it down, dog. I don't think you understand, okay? Sir, this is not a TV show. This is not a movie. And this is not a Tampax commercial. I know in your warped ass mind, you want a woman to crawl on her goddamn toe or her fucking hands and her knees, crying with tears in her face, kissing your ring and saying, baby, I love you. That's not the real world, man. You've got to let women move on the pace that they know before they can move on your pace, fool. Her pace is texting that. And you have to understand that. You can't force a woman to do what you want her to do. You have to understand, if she reaches out and tells you something like I love you, and she's saying through a text message, that's her style of communication in a closed loop world. So she's sharing it from the only way she can share it. But the problem is, you expect her to what? Bring you flowers, be naked at the door or something? Get out of that bullshit. See, if a woman says, I love you, okay, right? If you're the guy, they're gonna tell you why they love you. They're gonna tell you the moment they recognize they loved you. So then you have something to work with. But if she's texting you, she loves you and tells you why she loves you, thinks about you, or misses you, you can then work with that, because at that point, for her text message, I can send her a text message. But then I can send her a voice message. I can send her a video. I can tell her, if you have a second, I'd like to see you right now because there's something on my mind I want to share with you. Because if you're going to share something with me, I got something to share with you. You see what I'm saying? That's going to relax her, and that's going to make her want to continue to open herself up to move from just a text message. A woman is going to communicate in her own way, but we cannot expect a woman to communicate the way we want her to. All right? That's where y'all guys got a problem. You can't make a woman feel like there's nothing for you to discover. Okay, no, it's all good, big dog. I got you. Great question. Great question. I got you. What you need to do is say this. Don't tell her you appreciate what she's saying. Say this to her. I got you. Just tell her this. You know what? I was wrong. Be accountable. I hate when you gotta apologize, but you gotta own this. Look, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said what I said to you. What I really meant was when you told me you loved me, it was at that moment that I saw you and you were very sexy to me. What you said to me was one of the most beautiful things that you said, that is even more beautiful than your body, because it's coming from a place that you don't share. You don't have to say appreciate. But that's when she's sexy. That's when she's desirable. That's when she's beautiful. Because you want her to recognize it's okay to share you with me. But let's get back to the letters and numbers. Now watch this. A woman who is always journaling, diary, and all that other stuff, what they don't know is everything they're writing is not going to help them grow. Okay. A prisoner can write a journal from the prison walls, but he's not free. He can write anything he wants from his prison cell, but he is still trapped by the insecurities of the letters. And that's why therapy is like, y'all gotta be, that's why all that shit doesn't work for people, because it keeps you stuck. Okay, think about, remember I told you guys, a fish thinks it's free, but is confined by the tank. So a woman can journal and write and discover. But guys, you don't tell them, I'm telling you this game, listen to me. A woman is always going to discover herself, but she's not discovering anything, because what she's discovering are just more letters, not numbers. So what she's discovering is the same thing in a different form. C, D, X, P, R. Different letters, but they're letters. And that's the trick of the mind. Now, when she gets with you guys, the obsession and the connection is that you are going to make her see things with you. But she's got, okay, she's not going to see this shit, I'm telling you. They'll never see it until they're a part of it. That's what I'm saying to you young men. I need y'all to soak this up. Very important, okay? This is where the conversation has to become more personal, because every man listening to this, okay? Every guy listening to this has stood in that phone booth at some point trying to grab apps out of a phone booth. What I'm saying is that the woman that thinks she's discovering herself is actually in the same phone booth as well. But what happens when she discovers you and realizes that there's an app that's not in the phone booth, that's not on her phone, it's attached to her feelings and emotions that she has not discovered herself. Think of it, let's get deep. Think about this. Women don't get this, guys. Let me explain this to you. What I mean is, anybody can discover a new city, a new town. Anybody can discover a forest or a river or a lake, right? But it's still on the same planet. You see what I'm saying? The planet is the letters. But what you are discovering is based on the construct of the letters of the loop, which means is that a woman is discovering from the letters. So if we discover something on this planet, wherever you go and you discover something, you're not discovering anything. You're just discovering something that's still in the construct of the letter. But what I'm saying is that you are not just the planet Earth. You're not Mars, you're Jupiter, you're Saturn, you're the moon, you're Venus, you're Pluto, you're another universe. You're more than the subtotal of just a planet. Remember, we only know what they only know, and they're going to move on how they think they move because they're not discovering anything. They're discovering things, but they're not discovering anything. You see, I hope I got deep. But that's the thing that you have got to let her see for herself. Okay, gentlemen? What I'm saying to you guys out here, all right? You're still in the same phone booth. Maybe it was a bar that you went to. Maybe it was a text message that you sent her. But you forgot who you was in the process. You cannot operate like the planet Earth trying to get her to discover you, because if she discovers you, there's nothing about you to be discovered. Because she discovered, okay, you don't think women know what a mountain is? You don't think she knows what a lake is? You don't think she knows what land is? She's already discovered those things. But the one thing she hasn't discovered is a feeling that goes outside of the construct of the letter, which has to be the number, gentlemen. Okay? He said, I will wait patiently for a message back. No, don't wait patiently. You're good. You're good. And if I were you, I would tell her, come on over when you get a chance. Let's talk. I was wrong. And you know what? I don't want you over here for sex. I just want to talk to you. And that's it. And I want to look in your eyes and let you know that, see, guys, sometimes when you're a number and you say something, she's going to look at it from the point of view of a letter, gentlemen. That is why you have to be very, very descriptive in what you say, because if you send something to her that she can't interpret, she's going to use the letters instead of the numbers, and she's not going to understand, gentlemen. Let's keep going. A lot of you guys want to talk to women, and a lot of you guys want to either date a woman, get to know a woman, or even sleep with a woman. And that's not the problem, all right? This is why the phone booth metaphor matters in what I'm telling you guys out there, because it's not you guys out here, you have access to technology, right? And if you have access to technology, then why would you go in an outdated system like a phone booth, trying to press the phone, trying to pull up, I don't know, DoorDash or Uber, I don't know, or Amazon or Google? Why would you keep going in that phone booth trying to press an app button? But your mind makes you think that the phone booth has apps inside of it. Okay? You're moving in the wrong environment. And in order for you to get a woman to see the environment that she's operating in is the wrong environment, she needs to be around a man that is not a phone booth. He's more of an app. The app on her phone gives her easy access when she needs something. You're a button press away, but you can't be a button press away when you're an open loop, because there's nothing to discover, gentlemen, if that makes sense. And for many of you guys out here, where you're going wrong is that a woman can always feel a person that is not connected to himself. And she can feel a man that is not trying to get between her legs. Gentlemen, I'm not ever going to knock you for wanting to sleep with women. But if you just look at the pattern, if you just take a moment and think, why is it I'm not getting any pussy? Let me look at the pattern. What am I doing? Every woman I meet, I'm trying to fuck. And guess what? I'm not getting any pussy. So maybe let me take a moment and let me look at that pattern. Holy shit. Maybe I need to stop making it about pussy and maybe things will change. But you have to be able to I can't break the pattern for you. My job as a coach is to get you to see the patterns. I can't break them for you. If I were to break them for you, then I'm saying be me. And then you can't be me. You can only be a second version of me. And that's where you go wrong. Think about what I'm saying. When you're watching something on YouTube and you think that you need to do that thing, you want to know why it fails? Because you're using an outdated system trying to do something that you shouldn't do. You should never move on a woman like that. That's not the game. The game is not built on what you're doing, okay? We're going to continue this, guys. Guys, cap your questions. Like I say, we'll keep this up. I'm going to chop it up with y'all, break it down. But here's the beautiful thing, okay, is that a lot of women, when they realize that everything, what do you think happens to the woman when she realizes everything that she has done all her life is wrong? Everything she wrote in the book is wrong. Everything she thought was wrong because she thought she was trying to find herself, but she wasn't discovering anything about herself. What do you think happens? That changes up the game, gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? That's what changes up the game. But what I'm saying to all you young men out here listening, okay, let me get to the light. What I'm saying to all you guys listening out here is that I know that a lot of you guys are saying, okay, well, how can I get her to be interested in me? How can I get her to fill in the blank? You can't get her to do anything when you're open, because what is she discovering? She's seen mountains, she's seen lakes, rivers, pools, and houses. But the one thing she's never discovered is a man who is authentically himself and not trying to be the river, not trying to be a mountain, not trying to be grass or lakes or pools or anything like that. He's saying, this is who I am, and if you can't accept me for who I am, then I can't show you who you are. You see what I'm saying? I want to leave every woman better off in which I found them, and that's not an arrogant thing, it's a real thing. Because if we never work out, she'll be better off for the next man realizing that I already know how to conduct myself around a man, and if this person is not doing what I need to do, then I need to find somebody else. Gentlemen, I hope y'all understand that. Thank you, 60 likes. Let's continue this ism. But I'm saying to you guys out there, the closed loop person, okay, when you understand the game, okay, the closed loop person does not move that way, okay? I'm not saying to be perfect. Hold on, clean this up. Okay. I'm not saying be perfect, gentlemen. Listen, write this down. I'm saying you have to be present. I'm not trying to control anything in the woman. I'm just trying to say what you think is your discovery is nothing but a lie. It's a trick your mind's playing on you. The greatest trick that women don't understand is that, and it happens to you guys too, is that your mind will make you think that you're more than what you're not when you're not learning anything. Again, the fish in the tank is free, but he's confined by the tank until the fish meets somebody that can put him into the ocean. You see the difference? When the fish realizes they're with somebody to show them they're more than the tank, that is going to open the loop, because what she's going to discover is that everything I discovered is not even me. But it's not you discovering for her is you're saying that you're dealing with somebody that's not getting between your legs. I'm getting between your ears because I want you to fuck with me, gentlemen. You see what I'm saying? And I'm saying that I don't, y'all got a question, go ahead, cap it. I got y'all covered in all this. The woman, gentlemen, is never going to be pulled in by the man who is always editing himself. I don't want you guys to edit yourself. I want you guys to present yourself. But the question is, what are you presenting? And I don't think you understand. If you have not understood the game, been married to the game, and learned the game, you are always going to present a duplicated version of your parents, your teachers, and your pastor in a phone booth trying to pull up an app. That's why you fail. Because you are not your parents, you are not your teachers, and you are not your pastor. That's information that you took in. That's why you're in open loop. As babies and infants, when we come into this world, we're sponges, right? And as a sponge, we are an open loop because we're taking in information. But you cannot meet a woman from that construct of taking in information, or you're not going to win with a woman because you have no edge, no depth, and no range. That word and everything you are matters because listen, it's very important. Because see, when you can understand who you are, she's going to actually understand you that much more, gentlemen. And a lot of men hear obsession and immediately think control. And I'm not telling you to control a woman. Oh, I keep glitching. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I keep glitching, I don't know. I'm outside. I'm out and about. So I can't help I hope I don't keep glitching. I'm sorry if I'm glitching. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying, you guys out here, if a woman wants to know more about herself, she can discover more about herself from a man who is not trying to push himself up on that woman. He's saying that, listen, I understand you more than you know. Just like a woman can understand an average guy more than the average guy knows. Women know thirst. Women know desperation. Women know needy, thirsty, and clingy. But what we know is that a woman has certain kind of trauma, certain kind of wounds. There are things bothering her, hurting her, and there's something inside of her that she's trying to rid herself of. But what she doesn't know is that what she's trying to get rid of is never gonna fucking go away. That's the theater number one. What you gotta show the woman is that she shouldn't operate from the construct of the first theater. Gentlemen, if all she knows are letters and she's trying to discover something else, how is she when all she knows is letters? So she needs to meet numbers, shapes, or colors, not letters. That's the difference. A woman needs to know that, holy shit, you mean to tell me all this time I've been trying to discover myself by chasing my own tail, not knowing. Okay, guys, think about this. Do you think just because women think things, write things, and want to learn things, you think they're actually going to discover themselves? Why do you think they keep chasing happiness, guys? Why do you think they keep chasing these mythical things or these affirmations and all that other stuff? Because they're set up to fucking fail, because that's how the mind works. The mind wants her to think that you just keep writing and writing and writing and you're going to grow. But they can write as much as they want and they're still the same person. And they don't understand why. Because they haven't had a man in their life to say that where you're writing from is the wrong theater. You can't write from where you're at, because where you're at is not where you should be at, because that's not who you are. Gentlemen, as I telling you, if you guys are your mom, dad, pastor, and your teachers, what do you think women are? What do you think women are? They're the same thing. He says what it means to position. What it means to position yourself is this. When I meet a woman, I want her to decide to fuck with me because she knows everything that she needs to know, and she's going to make a decision off of the truth. She's going to make a decision knowing that I am never going to lie, manipulate, deceive, play games, beat around the bush, but she's also going to know I'm not going to waste my damn time. I'm not going to bug, barter, manipulate, beg, deceive. I'm not doing any of that. If you want to mess with me, mess with me. Because listen, guys, what if you had the arrogance of saying, I know something you don't know? But what would it look like if I told her, well, yeah, you fuck with me, and I'm going to show you things about yourself you never seen before? Doesn't that sound like some goofy ass pickup line or infomercial? Hey, yeah, girl, fuck with me, and I'm going to show you things that you never seen before, girl. Fuck with me. Sounds like an infomercial, right? The beautiful thing is you don't tell her. She discovers. You don't tell her, she discovers. This guy says, I don't understand. Are we supposed to know our background? Yes. Okay, sir. I didn't say, let me take this bit by bit. You're supposed to know your background, but you are not your background. You're supposed to know your heritage, your background. You're supposed to know those things. But that's not you. That's not you. You're okay. There is a cartoon called Lambert the Sheepish Lion. Write that down, gentlemen. Lambert the Sheepish Lion. It was a lion that grew up around a bunch of sheep. And the sheep gave him information on a background where he thought he was a sheep. But he wasn't. He was a lion. And that means sometimes when we get information from people, that doesn't make us who we are. We all get information. Our religion is based off of somebody telling us what to pray to. Unless you decide on something else. Your mannerisms are taught. Your reading and writing is taught. Lambert was taught how to be a sheep, but the motherfucker was a lion. He didn't know he was a lion because his background was taught by a sheep. And what I'm saying, no disrespect to your parents or anything, but if they have a weak mind, what are they teaching you? They're not teaching you how to be a lion. Only a lion can teach you how to be a motherfucking lion, and that's what I'm saying. Right now, you're a sheep because right now, you don't believe in yourself. You want a woman to believe in you. You want a woman to validate you. You want a woman to make you feel good. I'm saying, no, fuck that. I'm saying that what I'm saying is that I want that woman to know, not even know, fuck that. I want her to feel, who the fuck are you? It's like everything I wrote in my fucking diaries and my journal, I need to throw that shit away and start all the fuck over. Motherfuck him. Who the fuck are you? Because you're showing me that I am more than a broom closet. Because women are writing from a broom closet. They're not writing, okay, they're writing from emotions, but they're not writing, okay, if emotions is a planet, They're writing from Earth, but they're not writing from the moon, her sad side. They're not writing from Venus, her seductive side. See, women write into a book that they place everything in. But the book should be different scrolls, like I tell you guys, scrolls, like the Survivor scrolls. Scrolls should not cross-pollinate. There should be a self-discovery me. There should be a happy me. There should be a sad me. There should be an interesting me. There should be a me that I want to do this and me I want to do that, right? Why? Because it's at that point where you're showing a woman is that if you fuck with me, the numbers, I'm not going to have you look at the letters. I'm going to make you look at your fucking patterns. And if you can discover and look at the patterns and not the letters, you'll be able to solve it. Because, okay, you can't solve, okay, that's the journal. Lawyer, doctor, cook, accountant. If I put all that into a journal, it's clutter. A man will show her how to move from the clutter, to separate the journals, lawyer, doctor, accountant, cook. So once I'm able to break down those things with that man's influence, then I can look at what is causing the problem. You can't see the problem in clutter, and that's why women never discover themselves. They can write as much as they write in a fucking book. They'll never discover themselves, gentlemen. Y'all see what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me continue this. Hold on, I got questions. He says, does the moment we reach the egg mean we were born lions? Well, sir, I always tell you, never believe me. If you don't listen to me, you need to watch the Great Sperm Race. If you've never watched the Great Sperm Race, you will never understand who you actually are because you don't know how you got here. You motherfuckers think you had let me explain something to you guys. You guys actually believe that you got here through a straight goddamn line from your daddy straight to your mom, from point A to point B. Motherfucker, you have not. You don't know what you don't know. That's why I keep trying to tell you what separates us. I'm trying to close your loop because your open loop thinks that I got here because my daddy and my mommy met up. No. Your daddy and your mommy meeting up has nothing to do with what you did to get to the egg. But you're not going to discover that until you watch the Great Sperm Race. And you start like the 5-minute mark when they're running in the valley. You have to see what it was you went through, not me, but what you went through to discover you are a goddamn lion. So why would you be a kitty cat towards that woman with fear? You didn't have fear. You have no idea what you went through. If you know what you went through, there is no fear. You believe me, if you just see what you went through, you will see that going up to a woman is like asking the guy at the ice cream truck for a popsicle. But you don't understand that because you don't know what you don't know. But obsession is not control because I'm not trying to control her. I'm just saying that if you fuck with me, you are okay. What you discover is not a discovery. It feels like one. Okay, gentlemen, remember I told you a prisoner can go outside of his cage into the prison yard, but he's still a prisoner. Even though he thinks he's free of the cage, but he's not free of the prison. But you don't tell a woman that, gentlemen. You don't tell a woman that. She'll discover that with you. But you can't just roll up on a woman and say, hey, baby, fuck with me, and I'm going to show you things that you never seen before, girl. You don't say that shit. It's got to be free will. She's got to fuck with you because she wants to fuck with you. Once she begins to fuck with you, that's when she's going to discover what's going to fuck her up. It's for the first time she will see that I've been putting everybody in the same fucking movie theater. I put the doctor in there with the lawyer, with the accountant, with the cook. And I shouldn't operate like that. I've got to operate on the mindset of scrolls and different things. I can't talk to the doctor in lawyer language. I can't talk to the cook in accounting language. And I can't talk to the lawyer in the language of a cook. See how deep that is, gentlemen? But what I'm saying to all you guys out here listening to this is the part that a lot of you guys will never unlock, because you're trying to make the woman obsessed with them by trying to be the center of her attention. I don't want to be the center of her attention. I just want to be the guy she thinks about when she shouldn't be thinking about me. That's all. That's going to make you something totally different. And for many of you guys, you don't understand the depth of this, and thank you for all the guys that like this. And we're trying to break this down to help you guys understand. Is that an open loop inside of her is going to be when she realizes she can discover something new in you. But you have to notice the difference. You cannot meet a woman from a open loop. You can't do that. The loop must be closed for her to discover that she is more than the subtotal of every guy before you, gentlemen. Her perception, her reality is not based off of you. Her perception, her reality is based off of the pain that they gave her, hurting her identity, her worth, her value, her interpretation. So if they gave her that and she's trying to discover who she is, how is she going to discover anything? All she's going to discover is that I can leave the prison cell, but I'm still caught in the prison. Because I don't matter what I say, what I do, what the affirmations, the makeup, the eyeliner, the blush, the mascara, the weave, I still feel the same way until I meet him. And that him has to be you. You've got to show her that she has got to leave where she's at to discover who she is, but she can't discover who she is with a person that's only trying to discover her butt cheeks. That's what I'm saying, you guys out here. And that's why all this is important. A woman cannot be obsessed with something that she already knows. That's why I tell you I'm going to bring her into the unknown. I'm not going to force her into the unknown, but her emotions, her feelings, and her connection, okay, she's going to feel like something's missing when she's not with you. She's going to feel like she needs to discover something when she doesn't hear from you. And that's not manipulation, because we're never manipulating her. The only manipulation that is going to happen is that you are finally going to give her the tools to break free of the prison in which she placed herself in. And the prison that she placed herself in is that diary and is that journal. Because that journal and that diary is not self-discovery. It's just more locks, more chains, more bars. But she doesn't know that. But she doesn't know what she doesn't know. She doesn't understand what she doesn't understand. She needs a connection of someone that looks beyond her body and looks beyond what most the average guy can't see. to let her know that if you fuck with me, I'm gonna take you somewhere. But you don't tell them that, man. You don't talk to them like a used car salesman. And this is why you're not the movie, gentlemen. Listen what I'm saying. Never be the movie. Always be the trailer. Gentlemen, how many times have you turned on your TV or looked at YouTube and you saw this amazing trailer of some kind of a movie? You're like, oh shit. Man, when that thing comes out, I'm gonna go see that. Oh my God, what is this? Why? Because the trailer does not explain every scene, gentlemen. It does not show the ending, gentlemen. It does not give away the emotional arc that a woman is going to have when she watches 50 Shades of Grey, when she watches those nasty movies, that 365, or she could watch the Notebook, depending on whatever she watches. But she knows when I see that movie, it's gonna make me feel something. See that's the, oh shit, I forgot I gotta plug this in. Shit, I'm doing all this talking. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta plug in. My bad, dog. I've been talking. I gotta plug in and charge up. But okay, what I'm saying to you young men out here, for y'all guys to understand this game, is that I'm saying for you young men, before you can be the movie trailer, you have got to see the patterns that are holding you back. If you have fear, like if you go up to a woman, you have fear. I don't want you to look at fear. Look at the pattern that led to the thing that brought up the fear. Because if you cannot make the adjustments there, then you're going to always be an open loop. Because your fear is going to feed off validation. Your fears feed off of insecurity. Your fears feed off of low self-esteem. And your fears would tell a woman, guys, y'all know it. Okay, guys, I'm old. So back in our day, when there were movies that came out and the movie was really bad, it would go straight to video. That means the movie was so bad they couldn't even put it in the theater. They just had to put it straight to video. And that's unfortunately what a lot of you guys are presenting women. Let me see. Question here. If we truly understood our strength, would that be dangerous? Well, yes, it'll be dangerous, because at that point, you're gonna move. You're moving in something different. But see, I don't want you to look at it as dangerous. You're not dangerous, because see, remember, Brandon, in everybody's reality right now, you know what dangerous means. Dangerous is a bad thing. So I don't want you to use dangerous, but you will become dangerous in a new reality, if that makes any sense. A woman does not become drawn in because she knows everything, gentlemen. Okay? Most of you guys are trying to push your movie up on a woman really fast, but you're not allowing her enough space to sit back, grab her popcorn, grab her soda, lean back, and connect to the movie on an emotional level. Why do you think they got turned on by 50 Shades of Grey? Or why do you think they cried where they, what was that, Bridgerton, not Brit, what was that movie I showed you where women were crying at the end? It's like that old word, what was that fuck? Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. I talked about it before. Those movies know one thing, that there is something primal in a woman that she's missing in the outside world that a movie can give her. Can you be that movie, gentlemen? That's the question. Question right here. Is my mind voice not really my voice? No, it's not your... Sir, your mind is a voice of your teachers, parents, and pastor, young man. You don't know that you have a voice because no one ever told you you have to discover yourself to actually discover yourself, man. That's how the game works. The game is about self-discovery. Discovering who you are without trying to manipulate a situation. You guys out here don't know. I keep trying to tell you, young men out here, you've got to stop trying to force situations, and you've got to become the situation. Hold on, let me make sure I got all the questions. As I said, for all you guys out here, what's important is a lot of young men out here are going to get angry at what I'm saying. Gentlemen, I want y'all all to see there are going to be people in here that don't want to hear this information. Okay, guys, let me explain something to you. I'll show you something, give you a case in point. Did you know for decades and centuries, the government has always been telling you, MFs, that there are no such things as aliens? Because if we tell the world there's something out there outside of the Bible, then that might disrupt somebody's reality. So we can't do that. So what we're going to tell them is that there are no such things as aliens. Read the Bible. It's fine. There's no such things as aliens. It's not real. It's not real. But do you understand that all information is not true? But I want y'all, don't believe me, I want y'all to look at this. Isn't it weird that not only are they telling you they're aliens now, they're telling you there are 4 species of aliens now? Do you see how information is kept from us? The world that you're in is only going to teach you what it wants you to know, not what it wants you to discover. Remember, all you guys, and no disrespect to slaves, but we all come into this world slaves on a plantation mentally. And you have to become a free thinker and get off the plantation in which you're indoctrinated in order to understand this game and soak it up. Or not. And what I'm saying to you guys out here, this is why I don't want you to be the movie. Wait, let me get this question right here. This guy says, why can I overcome fear? Sir, you can't overcome something you don't want to overcome. Sir, just like a woman thinking her writing into a book is going to help her discover herself, you telling yourself, I don't have any fear, is no different. A man teaches, not only a woman, but a man should be able to teach another man how to see the world as a man. And until you find a man to teach you how to be a lion and not be a sheep, you are always going to look at fear. You're always going to have this mental nightlight in your house because you cannot handle the world as it is. And because y'all can't handle the world, that's why a lot of you guys drink. That's why a lot of you guys do drugs. That's why a lot of you guys try to numb the pain. But the world did not force you to feel pain. The world just says, this is what the hell I am. And what you do with that information, the world doesn't give a fuck about you or me. The taxes, life, time, the game, they don't care about us. This is what we are. And if you can't handle what we give you, you'll never be able to get a woman. And she'll never be able to discover you. But you're saying that, to get to the second part of this, sir, you have to go into the unknown. Okay? All right? You have to go into the unknown to make what is unknown known. So if a woman thinks that she can discover herself based off of the average guys that she has been around, then she will never be free. She will always chase happiness. But if she gets with a man that shows her how to rediscover herself by breaking herself down, not into a system, but of subsystem parts. The system will never function if the subsystem parts don't function. The system doesn't work if there's one broken piece in the subsystem. The system will not function, meaning that you guys want to be men. You want to be that guy. You want women. You want all these things. But look at the pattern. Look at the system. If you look into the mirror instead of the window, you will see you have fear. That's a broken subsystem part. Anxiety, insecurity, low self-esteem. The same thing women have. So if you are moving on the same level as a woman, what is she gonna fucking discover? Nothing. Nothing. Y'all see what I'm saying? Information is different with a man. I want to show her that if you fuck with me, you have not even discovered what happens when you realize that, holy shit, you mean to tell me Earth is not the only planet? I mean, just to give you an example. I mean, we all know that, but I'm trying to make it simple. If all you are sitting around, well, I discovered Earth's mountains. I discovered Earth's lakes. I discovered the forests on Earth. I discovered valleys on Earth. Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean there's something more out there than Earth? Well, what are you talking about? There's nothing out there more than Earth, because all I know is Earth. All I know is average guys, thirsty guys, insecure guys, lonely guys, guys who are average, mean guys, hurtful guys, abusive guys, but not a man, gentlemen. Not a man. Okay? And what I'm saying to all you young men is that the information is not the same as intimacy. Intimacy, gentlemen, is not information. Intimacy requires not only pace and time. Guys, I am the only YouTuber, and I've always told you this since the 90s. In order to understand the game, you got to go to Amazon, go to Walmart, get a 100-piece puzzle set, throw the box away, and put the pieces of the puzzle together through your eyes and not the box. The box is the open loop. You rip the box up and put the pieces together yourself. That's the closed loop. But you'll realize when you put those pieces together, you'll realize discovery, timing, rhythm, tone, pacing. That's what intimacy is when you are connecting with a woman. So when an average guy gives a woman an ending before the story, there is no tension. There is no discovery. There is no fun. But when you understand pacing, you understand tone, you understand rhythm, and you're not rushing to get between her butt cheeks. You're rushing to get her to discover things about herself. She wants to give herself to you, where she thinks about you, misses you, cares about you, needs you, want to hear from you. Send me a video. Send me a voice message. I want to hear your voice. I want to see you on video. Tell me something that you're thinking. Share something with me I never heard before. They want to discover you because they're saying you are helping me discover myself in a way, because there's nothing behind the discovery. Gentlemen, when you're cold in the game, you want them to discover you, but there's no trap door. There's no trick. There's no gimmick. What I'm saying to you guys out here, when the interaction has shape, and the interaction has connection, that's when she can wander through her feelings. Gentlemen, they don't feel, okay, when a woman is writing in something, she's writing from pain. She's writing from frustration. But what happens when she can write from freedom, self-discovery, and learning that I am more than the subtotal of what I'm writing in this goddamn book, because who I'm with is more than a subtotal of what I've ever met before. That's what I'm saying, you guys out here. You see what I'm saying? What she sees from me, she can't unsee. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. You say, yo, the cake ass emoji. Yeah, you gotta stop. Please stop with the emoji, sir. We don't do that in this room. And if you continue to do that, I'm gonna have to let you out, because this isn't for you. This is a grown-up space for grown-up people. And if you are still in high school and childish, you just gotta get the fuck out. But I just want to show you that a lot of guys don't want to discover themselves. All right, so hey, if they do it again, just do this. Watch, guys. See how easy it is? Just get rid of them. That's it. They put one in. There you go. Just do that, guys. Just get rid of them. Don't just let them go. They don't belong in here. Okay. Listen, guys. I keep telling you, a lot of young men don't want to hear this information, because if people hear what I'm saying, then it puts the accountability back on them, and nobody wants to hear that I'm the person in the phone booth. But I want the woman that looks at the app. You can't have it that way. You can't win that way. And I appreciate all you guys and the 81 likes in here. So the obsession that you're creating is not a cheap trick, gentlemen. It's not. It's not the obsession of confusion. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't want to confuse her. I want her to discover, and I want her to unfold. And when she can unfold, then she's going to realize I've been doing all this wrong. I can't write surgery language in a law book. I can't write recipes in an accounting book. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what they don't understand, and that's what they need to discover with you. And that's the beauty of the game, gentlemen, that I'm trying to actually inform you young men on. A lot of you people have never learned this part of the game, because right now, if you are trying to discover yourself from a YouTuber versus learn from the game, then you will never be able to get that woman to see the beauty in you, okay? And for all you guys out here, I want y'all to understand that this isn't for everybody, man. I keep trying to tell you guys this, man. A lot of young men there's gonna be hatred, racism, anger, and bitterness. But gentlemen, do you see how truth smokes out weak identities? Do you see that? I didn't say anything negative about women. I didn't say anything hateful about women. I didn't say anything that you should do to trick women or anything like that. I'm saying for all you guys out here is that most of you guys get complexity all wrong. And the reason why you get it wrong is that you think obsession is created by being impressive. You think that if you value her enough and all that, and it doesn't work from that standpoint. You've got to let her discover. Is all I am just memories of the past? Well, sir, come on, dog. I'm going to kick you out of this fucking room, dog. You're asking me if water's wet, man. You've heard this several times. Please, sir. Please, sir. I'm going to warn you. Stop asking me idiotic fucking questions. I already explained that shit, fool. Y'all see what y'all see what I'm saying, man? I keep telling you, this ain't for everybody, man. This is why a lot of guys lose, man. Asking me idiotic questions, dog. Stop doing that shit, dog. Learn the game. Damn, dog. Anyway, Gentlemen, that's why I will always say to you young men out here, you're not the movie, you're the trailer. The trailer should give her emotional pull. The movie revolves around the story, okay? Well, Lady Sam, I don't know what he's doing. He's not rage bait, he's just ignorant. A lot of these guys have disabilities sometimes, Lady Sam. And a lot of these guys have ADD, so I gotta slow it down for them as well. But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, okay? All right. What exactly, Gil? That's what I'm saying, Lady Sam. He's been here too fucking long to ask that silly ass question. Guys, please understand, he's been listening to me for years, and all he's doing is asking me that shit. Anyway, what I'm saying to you guys out here, never tell a woman what you can do for her. Know that when you're ready to actually learn who you are and discover who you are, you are not just a letter. Because she can write from A to Z, gentlemen, right? Think about how the mind tricks them, okay? So if the woman is the letter B and she writes the letter L, do you think that's self-discovery? Or is that the mind making her think just because you changed the letter, it's still not a letter? You see the trick of the mind? So they don't self-discover themselves. They only discover that they themselves are actually an open loop. They're a closed loop when it comes to the sexuality. Okay, when it comes to guys, when it comes to guys trying to get at them, yes, they got the power because they are very sexual. They know how to use their tongue. Not tongue that way. They know how to talk and all that other stuff, gentlemen. But one thing they don't know is that they don't know discovery. But gentlemen, what's so cold is that the movie theater, like Walt Disney, doesn't beg you to come inside. It just says if you want to feel that emotion, you got to pay to play. Not sexually, guys. I'm saying the movie, man. Not sexually. Most of y'all guys are always going to lose women because you don't understand the power of the trailer. Okay, gentlemen? You either show too much and they forget you, or you show too little or too much and they're finished. You want women to say that I want to know more about you because the more time I spend with you, I start to realize that you don't have anything behind what you're saying. Unc really no hold bar match on riding with the D. No. You know I like to lace y'all with this game, man. I don't want you guys ever feeling that watching a YouTube is going to change you. You're never going to change. She's never going to change. She's going to get bored with you. But I'm trying to, in order for her to change, she's got to meet a man that is a closed loop. You have to have the system itself together. So I'll give you a prime example. What am I saying by a broken part? So if you're driving a car and the check engine light comes on, the car is telling you there's something wrong with me, right? And if you don't fix this thing, then the car is eventually going to break down. What you guys are thinking, because I put okay, the car has the check engine light on it, but I'm going to put a new radio in it, and I'm going to put a new set of rims on the car and bypass and not look at the check engine light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up the problem. I don't want to look at the check engine light. I'll just put a new radio in there, put some woofers in there, and put some rims on the car, and that should help me better understand myself. No, women are doing the same thing. It doesn't work that, okay? All right? And what I'm saying is, for all you guys, got a question, Cap, because we're only going to be on too long. But I'm saying to you guys out here, when you show too much, there's no curiosity. Guys, there's so many layers that you can show a woman, man, when she decides to fuck with you. But you can't put a gun to her head. You can't beg her to like you. And I don't want her to like me anyway, so you know I'll never beg her to like me. You just have to have something about you that doesn't mean, look, sure, I like to get sexual with a woman. I like to talk dirty. I like to talk nasty. I like to watch it touch that thing. You know, I like all that stuff. But that's not an agenda. That's something that if she wants to experience, she know, yeah, right? But this isn't about acting unavailable or something to a woman. This is not trying to act busy. This is not trying to be something that you're not. I'm just trying to show you young men that the power that you're having is that if you don't learn the game and look at the pattern, you are never going to grow because your patterns are always the same. That's the thing that you don't discover. And women do the same thing. The patterns are all the same thing. If I'm sad, I'm going to cry. I'm going to write about it. If I'm sad, if you're sad, you're not going to cry, but you'll get angry or you'll try to find a loophole or a woofer system, a new radio. You'll try to get some new armor all to put on the tires, or you'll try to put a coat of wax on the car and the check engine light is still on. So one must go into the station and plug it in to look at what is wrong with the engine, the patterns, so it can change the system. Because if you can change the system by changing the patterns, then you can be somebody new to be discovered, because you would then see the patterns in which the woman is moving off of. But never tell a woman that she shouldn't journal. Never tell a woman she shouldn't write. Never tell a woman she shouldn't discover. You can't, okay guys, telling a woman she shouldn't do that is going to really fuck her up, because that's all she knows. She's not going to stop doing what she's always doing, because listen guys, watch this. That's the pattern. You've got to get her to trust the number, the shape, or the color to say that what I'm doing is not working, because all I'm doing is putting ink on paper. It's not helping me. What is going to help me is somebody who's already discovered himself. Remember, guys, please, all you guys, I've got a homework assignment for you real quick. I want all of you to write this down. Write down the show Revolver. Came out in 2007. Revolver, Guy Ritchie. You only get smarter by playing a smarter opponent. Y'all got to learn the rules of the game. Watch Revolver and see what I'm talking about. Because just because a woman is in control doesn't mean she's in control. And just because a woman thinks she controls you doesn't mean she's actually in control of you. There are layers to this. But until you can discover that, she's not going to know what she is. She's always going to be a woman in the closet, but not a woman that has a doorway. She can only discover the doorway through you. And if she discovers the doorway through you, you become her obsession. Not because you're trying to sleep with her, but you're kind of say that if you want to fuck with me, this is what I'm going to bring to your life, without telling her this is what I'm going to bring to your life, guys. That's the beauty of what I'm saying. Right. The unrecognizable version of herself, gentlemen. You're absolutely right. A woman is going to get caught up when she feels that you're revealing something to her. But you don't want to show your hand. You just want to show her that I'm not doing this to get you in bed, man. You can't do it to get her in bed, gentlemen. That's it. Yes. Revolver. Yes, please. 2007, Guy Ritchie. Watch it. It has so much depth and range that it starts out with game. It just, y'all don't understand what you don't know. But in order for her to discover herself, she's got to be beyond the makeup, the eyeliner, the blush, and the ink on the paper. And when you can open that, and then you can open up her world and show her that she's more than the subtotal of what she is, you will be fucking forever. And she can meet a million men after you, but they'll never be you. She can always look for her person. Guys, it goes back to Bridges of Madison County, guys. Think about the connection. If you tie in 9.5 weeks with Bridges of Madison County, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Gil, you know what I'm talking about. You know how Clint had her fucked up. All my Bridges of Madison County aficionados, you see what Clint did to her. She was married for what, 18 years? And in 2 days, she knew Clint was the one. She died and realized in her death, Clint was always the man who opened up her loop, just like Mickey Rourke did in 9.5 weeks. Gentlemen, it all connects. And y'all just got to understand what I'm saying. It's deep. If y'all have seen the Bridges of Madison County, I know it's a sucky movie, guys, but you got to see what I'm talking about. That is a woman discovering. Because watch this. Remember, Clint, real quick, told her to be with me. And I'm going to wait for you. And if you don't show up, I'm leaving you. She was too afraid of that self-discovery. Guys, what happens when a woman of all of her life has been with an average guy and in 2 days you flip her world? They can't handle that. That's why she didn't go with Clint. Because she was too afraid to go into that unknown. She went to the unknown for a few days, but a lifetime of unknown and discovery is a scary thing in a woman. She didn't do it, and she regretted it her whole life. Even in death, she regretted it. Y'all got to see the Bridges of Madison County. Y'all see how cold it is. It's a luxury that you told us to watch. Yeah, hey, Gil, I'm never going to tell you things not to watch. I'm never going to tell you that, okay? Right, Gil, he flipped her world in so many ways that she discovered herself, and it was so impactful. She couldn't be with him because all she knew was the average guy. That's why she didn't go with Clint. And she regretted it the rest of her life. Even in death, she regretted it. And hey, why you think Clint rolled out? Hey, Gil, did Clint get out the car? Did Clint turn around? Did Clint beg her back? No, we charged it to the game and we went for it. That's the game, man. That's why Clint fucked her up. Clint gave her a chance. She didn't want it. He left and moved on to the next woman who is going to be worthy of the information. God damn, it's so much game in that motherfucker, man. I get excited. So the goal is to give the woman an experience to discover themselves. Yes, but discovering herself through you. She can't discover herself through letters. I don't care if it's an A, a B, a P, a Q, an R, a Z, an N, an X, an O. They're still fucking letters. They're still letters. She's not discovering anything. She's just the fish in the fish tank thinking she's discovering. She's not. That's why when you watch Bridges of Madison County, it's the same thing. The woman that discovered that Clint wasn't letters, he was a number, he was a shape, he was a color. She couldn't believe that shit. If she was with her man for 17 years, letters, and then all of a sudden Clint rolls up in the weekend and flips her around like 50 Shades of Grey, same scenario. Sex Lies, same scenario. All of these scenarios is a woman meeting a man that she can't run away from. You can't run away from this dick. You can't run away from this dick. That's the game. And that's why I keep trying to tell you guys. This is not about selling anything to you. I'm trying to get you to sell yourself to yourself and realize, don't believe me. Look at your patterns. Your patterns are going to just tell your truth. Until you see your patterns, you're not going to understand where I'm coming from. But gentlemen, this is awesome. We're going to keep this up. And I want y'all to see that this is why we're not like everybody else. Go get your puzzle pieces. Throw the box away. Change up the way you see the world for the first time. It's a mind fuck. What happens when you don't rely on the puzzle box to put the puzzle pieces together? That means you've got to do it yourself. That's self-discovery. What happens when a woman meets a man when all she's doing is writing letters all her life and runs up on a motherfucking number, a shape, or a color? Get this, guys. Bridges of Madison County, 9.5 weeks, Sex Life, or was it Sex Love? Sex Life. I think it's Sex Life, 50 Shades of Grey, all those things, a Revolver. All those things are laced in game that you guys need to understand and discover. Gentlemen, please appreciate yourselves, and please, if you need me, get at me at themanmindset@gmail.com. We did a good 2 hours, ride unscripted off the motherfucking dome. That's this game. So you can see that, guys, we are totally different than everybody. We can spit this game. And I hope you guys learned a little bit about yourselves for the first time, that you've got to discover you so she can discover herself through you. Fuck with your boy. We out.